I'm always in touch with my life outside the studio in that I come across circumstances all the time, and my immediate thought is, oh, I can do a blog on that. And just recently, I had to call a company that I do some business with, and I wasn't going to complain, but I did finally have to say, listen, I've noticed that when I ask you to confirm that you have received this email, that like you guys never do that. And so I'm just wondering, like, is that not a policy or what have you? And the woman on the phone was incredibly empathetic, or at least it appeared. And so her first response was, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And then I was like, whoa, hey, that's pretty cool that like I just barely mentioned something and she's so empathetic. I said, yeah, it's kind of in 2016, I just figured it would be very easy for you guys to fire off a quick email, hey, received, noted, thank you. And now I got to pick up the phone, and if we're going to kind of keep doing this business, can we kind of work this out? And she goes, oh, and she even used my name. She said, Samuel, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. And at this point, I was like, whoa, this is really good. And I said, okay, so how will you kind of fulfill, et cetera, what will you guys do for a client of mine? And it was at that point that the rubber met the road, and she said, we'll take care of it, thanks, bye. I was like, whoa. And it made me think of so many of you who are dealing with spouses who are master communicators, who know the right things to say, who are so eloquent in their verbiage, in their vernacular, but don't mean any of it, right? I mean, I talk to people all the time who say, Samuel, listen, I got to tell you about my spouse. He or she is a master manipulator. Or I love this one. They are an incredibly successful salesman. I don't know how you or the EMS weekend is going to see through their, bull. And I'll tell you, it's a common scenario. Early on in recovery, Samantha had this frustration with me because I was a trained speaker. I mean, I traveled and spoke for a living. I was used to being in front of people. I was very polished. I was very in tune with my audience, and I knew how to communicate. Some of you were saying, yeah, Samuel, you're kind of a train wreck in these video blogs. Listen, I get so much wonderful feedback from you. I'm eternally grateful for it. Then I get some other great feedback too, and I really am grateful for the criticism. Some of the most recent criticism as well. So thank you for that. It helps me. It really does. But I'll tell you, the ability to communicate empathy in an authentic and genuine way is crucial. Getting back to the phone call. When that woman hung up on me, I was furious because it woke me up to the reality that she wasn't being genuine. She wasn't sorry at all. She had been trained by her branch manager on how to be incredibly skilled in her appearance of empathy, but she didn't really care at all. She just wanted to get off the phone with me and say the right things so that maybe when I complained later to the branch manager, she would appear that she was doing her job. It's the same way with the betrayed spouse. When the unfaithful communicates a false empathy or a fake empathy, and then their actions completely cut the legs out from underneath their verbiage, the betrayed spouse is pissed because it assaults their intelligence. You feel taken advantage of. You feel lied to, and it hurts like hell. So what I wanted to do was identify a few types of fake empathy, if you will, to see if maybe you can relate to it. And then I'll do a follow-up to that as well. But the first one is there are the unfaithful who say all the right things, but do not convey a heart of brokenness at all. They know how to say, man, I'm so sorry. You're right, I am so sorry. And Rick tells the story quite frequently of how Stephanie finally said, I'm so sorry, I'm so tired of you saying that I'm sorry all the time. You're sorry that you got caught. Stop saying that. Find something better to say. She didn't say it with that much angst, I don't think. That was just my spin on it. But Rick learned how to say, I was wrong. I am so sorry for how wrong I was. Samantha, early on, as I kind of readdressed that point I made, really couldn't trust what I was saying because she knew that I knew the right things to say and I could say them in a right way but not mean them. And so it was really tough because early on I was really sorry and I was really broken, but she couldn't receive it because it appeared that I was just being a salesman again. And it really created a rift early on because I had to learn new ways on how to show how sorry I truly was. Another group of people, very similar to the first group, can be extremely eloquent, but yet they are disconnected and dismissive and at some level even condescending when you don't receive their sorriness. It's where they are communicating and they don't even know that it's like they're in character, right? They don't even know that they're so polished and they're so just kind of flippant that they're almost like they're in character, but yet they're dismissive, and it's kind of like, oh, here we go. My sorry isn't sorry enough. Now we've got to talk about it. The problem is they don't know how insidious that is to the betrayed because, yes, if you are truly sorry, you will, in fact, talk about the offense that you have committed. Finally, I think another group of people are, hey, I've said I'm sorry, that should be enough. Like, it's so flippant of them to say, I'm sorry. Get over it, right? That's the message behind that. And so I don't want to give you an exhaustive list, but this is some of the ways that empathy goes wrong, at least the false empathy goes very wrong.